So, welcome to your pre-scene analysis for May 2020. The company that's been given to us for the operational case study exam is called ChargeIT. This is the first video that you will be experiencing throughout our pre-scene analysis explanation. And this video will help you to take your first steps towards understanding what our company is about. Now, in the operational case study exam, you have been given the role of a finance officer, which we have further detailed, further explained a little bit more in our introduction video. So, what is the finance officer supposed to do? A finance officer is mainly going to support Sophie Jacobs, who is the finance manager in our company. In your roles, you will be either asked to make a budget, like explain a budget. You will be asked to produce monthly management accounts, information on those accounts, which are part of your P1 syllabus and the core blueprint areas released by CIMA. You will also be assisting with queries regarding financial reporting, which is part of your F1 syllabus, which means the roles of a finance officer are quite wide ranging, are quite, in different areas, different aspects of the business. So you will be asked to do many different things, which we will go through together in this pre-scene analysis. We talk about the background of the company now. Now, the company ChargeIT develops, designs, and manufactures codeless domestic electric products, which means you're doing the full circle. You are developing, designing, and manufacturing. And you are in the codeless market, which further tells me that is going to be kind of an innovative product because that market is still young. The company operates from a single site in Eastland in Northern Europe, which tells me that it's going to be a centralized production system or a centralized management system that we're going to have. Now, centralization and decentralization are two different things. Each have their own advantages and disadvantages. The home currency for Eastland is E-dollars. The company has been founded in 2001 by Gavin Mansell, which tells me that the company has been in the market for 19 years. So it is bound to have gathered attention, customers, and hence goodwill. Because no company can exist for 19 years if people don't like their products. The company is owned and managed by Gavin and his wife Anthea, who each own 50% of the equity. This tells me that it's a private company. So now let's talk about Gavin. Now, Gavin, as we know, is the founder of the company. Gavin, who worked for a competitor vacuum cleaner manufacturer, decided to set up his own company to exploit his own opportunities, his own product development fascinations. He has an expertise in product design. That is your competitive advantage because your leader has expertise in the design of the product. Now, manufacturing was originally outsourced to a company in Southeast Asia. So earlier, when the new business was set up, they had outsourced it to Southeast Asia, which was a logical option, we can say, because most companies do that. It's cheap and it's easy. There is lots of labor available. It's cheap labor. So yes, acceptable decision. But in 2016, the decision was taken to bring the manufacturing operation back to our home country of Eastland. So my question is, why was this decision taken to bring the function in-house? You might have evaluated something, right? So you might have evaluated the advantages and disadvantages of outsourcing, as well as you might have seen the advantages and disadvantages of bringing it back. And obviously bringing it back was a better option, and hence you decided to do the same. In our detailed pre-scene PDF, we have analyzed this as well for you. Moving on to initially, the company was experiencing slow growth, but it then started to grow rapidly despite the overall market contracting for vacuum cleaners. So earlier, the business was not growing much, but it picked up. Now, investment in research and development has established a market lead in battery technology which is exploited in new product development. So that's your core competency, your competitive advantage, that you are the lead in battery technology management. Your annual sales have increased heavily by 32.4% since your previous year. Your profit before tax has gone up 59% since the previous year. So it tells me it's a rapidly growing company, and you can definitely use something like this as part of your answer, where you can state, anything that you're writing. You can say that the profits of my company have increased by 59.4%, which tells me that we are a strong market presence, we are improving day by day, and our products are innovative. So that's how you improve your answer with the help of a pre-scene analysis. Now we talk about the products that our company offers. Now, our company offers two distinct product categories. The first one is floor care products, caring for the floor. So you have upright vacuum cleaners, you have stick vacuum cleaners, you have handheld vacuum cleaners, you have robotic vacuum cleaners as well. Now, robotic vacuum cleaners are something which is coming up in the market. So you can put a star, you can say this is something that's going to be an opportunity for you. Garden products is our second main category. So you have lawn mowers, you have grass trimmers, you have hedge trimmers, and now you have robotic lawn mowers as well. So we realized the two main categories of our business. Now, how do we sell them? We sell them through two major routes, or two major sources, you can call them. That's our website and major retailers. Now, major retailers is something that is pretty traditional. Every manufacturer company either sells it to a major retailer and then to the customer. But the website is something which has enormous growth potential in today's modern environment. So we can discuss a lot of many different things when you talk about a website. You can have so many different ways the purchase is made, the payment is completed. So the website is something that is going to be intrinsic to my business. The company has a reputation for producing quality products and being a reliable supplier. This tells me that you are innovative, you have premium quality and hence premium prices, and you are recognized in the Western world as well, because they clearly tell us that you have operations in the US and in the rest of Europe as well. So we talk about the strategy of our company now. So the strategy of a company is very important and is something that you must note and stay true to when you are learning about the company or when you are suggesting something. Now, the company aims to develop its product range, that's our strategy, whilst meeting environmental standards and providing very high quality products and services. So when we talk about environmental standards, in today's world, corporate social responsibility is something that is very important, because what you give back to the society, what you give back to your stakeholders, how you take care of the environment also forms part of the reputation of the company. So our company is focusing on two main things: environmental standards, best quality products and services. Now, by this, they're after this actually, they're also telling us that the company aims to develop new markets for its products, which means you're finding new markets for your products. You're selling your same product but in a new market. This is called market development from the Ansof's matrix. Now, this is the same product being sold in a new market. So you will take your same, let's say, robotic lawnmower to Asia, to Australia, which is not your market today. So that is a star, that is a product, that is a strategy, which is important to stay true to. Now, remember, everything that you're seeing over here is for the reason of giving you good ideas to include in your answer. So you need to focus on that. You need to do that. Now, to achieve these aims, the company continues to invest in research and development. You aim to be the first mover and shaper of the market. This is something that you need to pay importance to. Research and development is at the core, is at the center of our business. A key long-term strategy of our business is to promote the benefits of cordless appliances because that's your main business. So that's what you want to promote. But while promoting it, you want to exploit the company's battery technology because you are a leader. You want to be a lead player in the sector. So you always want to increase your market share. With these aims in mind, the company has invested heavily in new manufacturing equipment. Now, when the company invests heavily, it needs money, it needs capital. So, this points to your F1 syllabus. It's a capital intensive process. So, you will need to manage that working capital. You will need to manage the money. So, this brings in your F1 syllabus where money management, capital management becomes a question, and working capital management is part of your F1 syllabus and your core areas as well. So, it's important that we focus on the same. After that, they're telling us that the company has identified a need for future investment in its central systems and processes to support this ongoing product development. They've clearly told us that the company wants to grow, it wants to be a market leader, it always wants to keep growing. But for that, you're going to need investment, you're going to need money. And how much do you think the two people who own a business completely are going to contribute? They won't have that power. So there is going to be a possibility, or there could be a question in the exam where they ask you about the possibility of new finance. This again is your F1 syllabus. So sources of finance, where can you get the money from? When we go further into our pre-scene analysis, where we've done and calculated all the numbers for you, you will see that our company has introduced no debt. Why? Debt is an important part of a business because it's cheaper than equity. So introduction of debt or further equity or public listing could be looked at. So when you talk about introduction of debt, means you're raising a loan. Public listing is taking a private company and listing it on the stock market so that people can buy shares. We would call it initial public offering. You don't have a lot of that detail involved in your operational case study exam. So just note of this as an opportunity. So if you want to raise new finance, you have debt and equity that we will focus on in the operational case study exam. Now we are talking about the people. The people make the organization. Hence, staff, managers, directors are extremely important. Now, the company currently employs 250 staff, which is not a very big group for a company that's making profits in millions. But, every company has its own way of functioning. Now, we know that 120 staff are in production and research and development. 75 staff are in logistics. 25% are, or 25 people, we will call them, are included to manage the most important functions of the organization, which is IT, HR, and finance. So I don't get it. When you have so many people in production, why don't you have similar number of staff in the most growing, in the most challenging of activities in any business, which is IT, innovation in marketing and sales, and the HR function? That is something that we would question. That is something that we would look at. So IT improvements and expansion is vital in our growing business. Innovative marketing and sales techniques also need to be promoted. The HR function discomfort has been voiced earlier as well. With this growth that our company is experiencing, there has been a mention of HR not being able to be effective. So if you don't have the right people, the right amount of people, and the right mindset of people, it's not going to work. So that is a problem that I would look at. So now we are talking about the directors of our company. And they have given us information saying that our directors are, relatively young and enthusiastic. This tells me that the directors will have a risk taking ability, a higher risk taking ability. Why? because today's modern digital businesses need to have a let's say a little bit higher risk taking ability than before, because of the different opportunities, different market environments, different competitive situations which are arising. So it can be seen as a good thing where the risk taking ability is high, because it will, possibly they will want to take on opportunities which have a higher risk profile, but can be valuable for our business. They've also told us that Gavin and Anthea keep a close watch on our company operations, and they are the main decision makers. So this tells us that a functional structure is in place where one person at the top is making the decisions. Now, functional structures and different business structures is part of our E1 syllabus, and we will talk about it a little bit more in the coming slides. Now we are talking about one director at a time. So the first director we'll obviously speak about is Gavin Mansell. Now, Gavin Mansell is our managing director. He is responsible for the company's strategy. So he is the decision maker, which we already know. Now, Gavin, as we know, is an expert in product design. He loves product design, and that's his competitive advantage, and that's our competitive advantage as well as a business. Now, one important line which they've mentioned over here is that Gavin is proud of the success of our company, but is concerned to ensure that an appropriate infrastructure is in place to support expansion. So he knows that the company is doing well, but he wants to make sure that appropriate infrastructure in the future is placed. So digital infrastructure, costing infrastructure, business structure, the structure of decision making, all of that is something which he wants to look at, which he wants to streamline as the managing director. He wants to improve. Now he's a master at product development, which we know, but in his profile, we don't see anywhere any touch to management expertise. So it seems that he lacks management expertise. He has a little bit of, experience of 19 years where he's worked with a competitor, of many years where he's worked with a competitor before he founded ChargeIT. But there is no, real study background that we've been given to show his management expertise, and that could be a situation which could probably, not work to the best of the business's ability. So the next director we talk about is Anthea. Now Anthea is a sales and marketing director. She's graduated from Eastland University with a BA in management studies. So she obviously helps her husband in, the management side of the business, because she has a BA, she is educated. She worked as a marketing executive for a retailing company before she joined ChargeIT. So obviously she has some marketing experience as well. Her experience in the retailing side of the industry is invaluable for the company. So we know that she is well educated, she is well experienced to carry out her job. She previously worked in retailing companies in other industries as well. So is also bound to have good market and external knowledge, which can prove beneficial for us. And they've already said that her support is invaluable for the company. So let's say any situation that arises in the exam when you're writing anything on sales or marketing. You've asked to brief about the 4 P's of marketing or the marketing mix or any kind of that question. You can include a small line in your question where you say that maybe we can look at the expertise of Anthea Mansell, because she's an expert at sales and marketing. She has good, she has good company knowledge, she has good industry knowledge. Now by writing that small line, it tells the examiner that you've understood the pre-scene, that you've gone through the pre-scene. That will give you more marks, that will give you more, a better pre-scene integrated answer. It gives good understanding, good knowledge of the pre-scene, and that definitely provides a good outlook to the answer as well. Next director I'm speaking about is Gemma Jorgensen. She is the Research and Development Director. Now remember, research and development is very important for our company. It's one of the most important parts. So Gemma graduated from Eastland University with a MA in product design. Gemma works closely with Gavin Mansell in new product design because Gavin obviously is an expert. So both of them work closely. Gemma is keen to expand the company's product range and is always looking for new opportunities. So fine, she is well educated, she's in the right place, and she is also receiving help from Gavin, who is an expert. Now you can also use her name for consultation while writing any development or manufacturing related topics. Just include a small line saying we can look at the expertise of Yemai Jorgensen or ask Gavin Mansell to help or whatever. This just makes your answer better presentable. It tells the examiner that you've gone through the material, and obviously it gives a good outlook to the answer as well. So a small line from the pre-scene analysis that we will give you in this detailed manner in your answer makes your answers outlook takes your answers outlook to another level. It's obviously a little bit more convincing. So anywhere you find something important throughout this pre-scene analysis, where the ideas which we are giving you throughout our detailed pre-scene PDF document that we will give you, there are more ideas explained over there. But all of this is being done, all of this is being given to you to make sure that you have good material to include in your answer. So please do that, and any material that you see over here, make sure you use in your answer. Next, we're speaking about Ben. Now, Ben in our company has been given the role of finance, of IT, and of HR. So Ben is responsible for finance, IT, and HR. Ben is a qualified accountant and was appointed as finance director last year. He has quickly earned the reputation for keeping a tight rein on the company. He is a bit of a techie and is interested in exploring the use of digital technology in our business. So Ben has been given three jobs: finance, IT, and HR. Now, finance itself in today's environment is ever changing because of the digital transformation of the business, which Ben supports. He has been given the responsibility for IT as well. So a fully functional website and continuous development on the same requires a lot of time and attention. On the other hand, he's also been given the responsibility of HR. The ability to manage HR with our growing business has also been criticized before. We've not been able to manage that. So this appears to be a case of too many jobs given to one person, and hence his productivity is bound to fall. It is perhaps time to branch these out as separate departments and hire specialists to sustain our growth and stay, stay ahead in business changing times. So there could be in many big businesses, I've always seen in the past pre-scenes as well and in real world experience as well, you've always seen a different finance department, a different IT department, a different HR department. That would be better if there is a separate leader for each. Now Ben taking care of all three will be too much responsibility given to one person, and that is a problem which Gavin Mansell should figure out, or is mentioning when he says that he wants to make clear lines, clear authorities in the business going forward. Also, one hint that they've given us over here is that Ben is looking at technology in the finance department. So this tells us that in your E1 syllabus, we have a topic which says finance and IT. So how finance and IT can mix, how both of them can be used as, in together, how both of them are growing together is an important part we must revise. Next, we talk about Jack Martinez. He is the production director. He is responsible for production, procurement, and logistics. Jack is an engineer by profession and has been with the company since 2007. He was initially part of the product development team as well and then was taken to production. Jack would like to improve the production facilities but needs to convince Ben that investment in new production technologies would yield sufficient returns. So remember, Jack was named the production director when the manufacturing function was bought in-house in 2016. Earlier in our company, it was outsourced. It was then bought back in-house in 2016. So that's when we appointed him as the manufacturing or the production director. Now, one aspect that we must look at over here is that Jack needs to convince Ben, which means Ben is not readily, investing in new production technologies because the business is doing so well as of now. We know there is a 59% jump in profit and all of that. Ben is not really seeing the need for investment in new production technologies. But it's the job of Jack, and it's your job to highlight this in any of the answers that you write, and you see the necessity for this. So take this as a point, write it down, keep note of it, so that you can use it further in your answers when we are discussing, when you're writing stuff like that. Now, with that, we come to the end of our first part of the pre-scene analysis. So that was the first part of our pre-scene analysis. Thank you for attending. We have left a link below in the description where you can go onto our website and look at our other offerings. We have a full detailed 2-hour pre-scene explanation after this that you will receive when you decide to join up with us. Our method has always worked for students and it provides full flexibility that you need. We do a lot of mock questions. We give you support throughout your exam, and you will be receiving full E1, P1, F1 easy study